Hello everyone and hello ma'am. Welcome to our presentation today. So how are you? I hope you are stay healthy and stay productive during this pandemic. Well, today I would like to presentate our discussions about the material in TEFL. So the material is about grammar translation method. But before that, I would like to introduce myself and introduce my groups first. Start from me. My name is Rizka Ayu Pratiwi, and my friend Sigit,
My name is Komang Sigit Palguna.
and the last is my friend Lulu.
My name is Lulu Lupiana.
Okay, that's all the member of group one. So let's go to the material. Well, in this opportunity, I would like to explain about the grammar translation method, and there are several things that we explain today. So the first is introduction, the second is historical background of GTM, the third is characteristic of GTM, number four, techniques of GTM, the fifth, advantage and disadvantage, and the last is implementation, and don't forget with the conclusion. Let's go to the first material. The first is about introduction. Let we start with language. So what is language? Well, language is a communication system, or in the other words, language is such an important thing to humans because without language we cannot communicate with others, we cannot express our feeling, and we cannot express our emotions. So I think it's really important and really needs for us to learn about language, and not only our native language but also the second language or the foreign language as our additional language. And English language is an important language that we must learn because English language is an international language. And there are some methods in language teaching and learning which can be used by teacher for the effectiveness of learning activities. And one of them is grammar translation method or GTM. Grammar translation method raised on the middle of 19th century into the beginning of World War II was firstly used in Prussia as the main method to teach students about a second language or additional language at national high school known as gymnasiums. So it is in Germany. At the time, GTM was used to teaching about the Greek and Latin language. GTM or grammar translation method is also known as classical method or the grammar school method, or in America, it's known as Prussia method. For the next will be explained by my friend Sigit.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity that given to me, Rizka. In this time, I would like to explain about the characteristic of GTM or grammar translation method. The first is about the general characteristic. This method is teaching about grammar in focusing on translation and memorizing a verb forms. Uh, Based on Prater and Sells Marcia in 1979 and Brown in 2001, there are some characteristics of GTM. The first is classes are, are though in the mother tongue with little active use of the target language. The second is maths vocabulary is though in the form of list of is isolated words. The third is long elaborate explanation of the in intricacies of grammar are given, and the last is little or no attention of pronunciation. Next, the next material is about techniques of GTM. The first is about the first is a translation of a literary passage. The second technique is reading comparison questions. The third is antonym and synonym. The fourth technique is cognate. The fifth technique is deductive application of rule. Next technique is fill in the blanks. This technique actually is to give exercise to the student in form of questions or missing sentences. The seventh technique is memorization. The next technique is use word in sentences. In this technique, students have to make a sentence uh, with the words that they found in the text. And the last technique is composition. This material will be explained by Lulu.
Thanks for the time, Sigit. Okay, I will explain about advantages of GTM. The first is reducing the level of teacher fatigue when teaching. The second is the simplest method to explain the meaning of a word. And the third is helping students to learn to read and write. And the third is teaches a lot about grammar and sentence structure. And the last is there are reading activities that can facilitate student understanding. And the next about disadvantages of GTM. The first is not interactive method, which will make a lack of the student participation in learning. The second is minimize the opportunities for teacher to establish relationship because it is method student learn more from textbook. And the third is student learn more about grammar than how to use it. And the last is student will have difficult learning to language because it is method. It start from learning to read. Students should to learn to listen first before the learning to read. Next is about implementation. We use two techniques to implement this method. The first is fill in the blank technique and use word in sentence technique. Okay. The next material can be explained by my friend Ita.
Thank you for your opportunities, Lulu. So the next is about the conclusion. So here I would like to conclude my presentations and my group presentation. Start from the GTM. First, GTM is a classical method to teach foreign language, which is focused on grammar and words meanings. Second, GTM has characteristics, some techniques, advantages, and disadvantages that should be taken by the teacher. And those characteristics and technique will help teacher to avoid some mistakes. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our class. And how are you today? So, in this opportunity, I would like to explain about simple present tense. Jadi di sini kakak mau jelasin sedikit tentang present tense, simple present tense. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, mari kita masuk ke materinya. The first material, it is about explanation of simple present tense, will be explained by my friends, Kak Sigit. So, Kak Sigit, time is yours.
Hello all. In this opportunity, I'd like to be your study buddy. It's mean. Jadi artinya kakak di sini akan jadi teman belajar untuk kalian semua ya. As you can see in the slide, in the screen, I would like to explain about simple present tense, about the pattern of the simple present tense, and some slot that will be additional knowledge for all of you. Oke. Jadi yang pertama di sini kakak akan menjelaskan mengenai apa itu simple present tense. Jadi simple present tense ini merupakan tenses yang paling banyak digunakan dalam bahasa Inggris, di mana penggunaannya yaitu ketika suatu kejadian sedang berlangsung saat ini atau kejadian yang berlangsung berulang kali, yang sudah menjadi kebiasaan atau habit dalam hidup kalian. Selanjutnya itu ada mengenai rumus dari simple present tense dengan verb, di mana rumusnya yaitu ada subjek, yaitu contohnya I, you, they, we, she, he atau it. Di sini dalam pattern ini subjek ditambah dengan verb one atau kata kerja pertama. Namun ada catatan juga di sini. Yang pertama yaitu verb. Di sini verb merupakan sebuah kata kerja, dan di dalam simple present tense ini menggunakan kata kerja yang bentuk pertama. Catatan kedua yaitu mengenai subjek, khusus untuk subjek she, he, it menggunakan ditambahkan s atau es. Contohnya itu misalnya subjeknya she dan verbnya buy. She jadinya she buys ditambah s ya. Lanjut pada rumus yang kedua yaitu rumus mengenai simple present tense dengan noun. Di sini patternnya atau rumusnya itu subject plus to be. To be itu ada is and are dan plus noun. Sama seperti penjelasan di atas, juga ada catatan yang perlu kalian ketahui. Yang pertama yaitu mengenai noun. Noun itu merupakan semua jenis kata selain kata kerja, misalnya kata benda ataupun kata sifat. Catatan yang kedua yaitu jika subjeknya adalah I, maka to be-nya am. Jika you, they, we, maka to be yang digunakan adalah are. Jika subjeknya she, he, it, maka to be yang digunakan adalah is. Jadi dalam mempelajari simple present tense ini, kalian harus memperhatikan catatan-catatan yang ada di slide ini, karena ini sangat membantu kalian dalam menyusun kata yang benar dalam simple present tense.
Untuk lebih jelasnya, kakak di sini punya example ya, punya contoh. Nah, untuk contoh ini akan dijelaskan oleh Kak Lulu. Kepada Kak Lulu, time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the time, Kak Ita. Okay, everyone, in here, I will talk about example dari simple present dengan menggunakan verb. Okay, kalimat yang pertama, I go to canteen. In the meaning, saya pergi ke kantin. At the next, she eats meatball. The meaning is dia makan bakso. Next, the next is an example for the noun formula. The example in the sentence, the first is I'm hungry. The meaning is saya lapar. Oke, adik-adik, kakak akan memberikan latihan. Ada beberapa soal di sini. Adik-adik bisa membaca dan menulis jawabannya di buku. Kakak beri waktu 2 menit untuk menjawab pertanyaan yang ada di sini. Okay, everyone. Time is over. The next section will be continued by my friend Ita. Time is yours.
Thank you so much, Kak Lulu, for your time and your opportunities. So, everyone, So we continue to the next section. It is discussion section. So for the first question, who want to answer this question? Jadi siapa yang mau jawab pertanyaan yang pertama yang di kiri ini? Kira-kira jawabannya apa ya? Ya, silakan.
Terima kasih untuk waktunya. Perkenalkan, nama saya Risma. Untuk jawaban nomor 1, saya jawabnya yang A. I am Basi.
Oke.
I am Basi. Yang kedua, untuk yang kedua, yang B. Make. She makes cake. Karena kan seperti yang tadi, kecuali untuk kata he, she, sama it, itu menggunakan S di belakangnya. Dan untuk yang ketiga, saya jawabnya A. They play basketball.
Oke, excellent. Krisma Natalia. Jadi itu jawabannya udah benar semua ya, hebat sekali. Oke, sambil diskusi kita lanjut ke slide selanjutnya dulu ya. Well, your friends have to answer these questions. Jadi teman kalian udah jawab ya, untuk semua pertanyaannya itu udah dijawab semua. Dan alright, it is the right answer. Jadi for the first question, the answer is A. Kenapa yang A? Karena sesuai dengan based on Kak Sigit's explanation, seperti yang sudah dijelaskan Kak Sigit, jika di sini menggunakan to be, jika di sini menggunakan subject I, because it is uses subject I, so it must use am as to be. Jadi to be-nya harus menggunakan am. Nah, maka jawabannya adalah I am busy. Jawabannya ada yang A. Terus untuk the next question, question number 2, Krisma Natalia also have the right answer. So the answer is B. Jadi jawabannya adalah B, because it uses subject C. So the verb must be added with S or ES. And for the last in this section, so the answer is A. Ya, teman kalian juga jawabnya udah benar. Because it is uses subject they, so the verb no needs to add S or ES. Jadi yang subjek yang perlu ditambahkan S sama ES itu kan cuma she, he, sama it. Nah, di sini karena dia menggunakan subjek they, maka verbnya tidak perlu ditambahkan S atau ES. 4, it is about make a sentences, tentang membuat kalimat. Ada yang mau coba nggak yang nomor 1? Nomor 1 aja dulu.
Ini apa kata-katanya?
For the first is give. Jadi kata yang pertama itu adalah give, memberi. Kamu mau coba? Enggak, oke. It's okay, enggak. It's okay. Nah, karena nggak ada yang mau coba jawab, jadi kakak mau jelasin. Nah, untuk sentences di sini, kakak, we give you 3 words to make a sentences, to be a sentences. So the first is give. Give di sini artinya memberi ya. Nah, contoh kalimatnya, misal nih, kita mau buat kalimat saya memberi sebuah pensil kepadamu gitu. Jadi kalimatnya I give a pencil to you, seperti itu. Itu untuk yang give. Nah, untuk yang happy, misal nih kita pakai subjeknya he ya. Dia bahagia, tapi dia di sini cowok. Jadi kita menggunakan subjeknya he. Karena subjeknya he, so we need to use to be is. Jadi kalimatnya adalah he is happy. Dia bahagia, gitu. So next, okay everyone, that's all from me and my friends. Jadi itu yang mau kakak sampaikan kepada kalian semua. I say thank you so much for you guys to joining my class. And then for the last, before I close this presentation, before I close this explanation, do you have any questions? Ada yang masih punya pertanyaan nggak tentang simple present tense ini? Kalau nggak ada, bilang no juga nggak apa-apa.
No.
Okay, thank you. So, want to say thank you for you all for joining my class today and for discussions. It is such a good discussion, I think. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for your time and your attention, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.